Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Break out the water bottles and hiking boots. We're headed back to the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Reserve. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk about Road Trip Oklahoma. They won a major award, and we're going to talk about it. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So there's no mistaking. We've been to the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Reserve many a time. We've talked about it during shows that weren't about the Wildlife Refuge. I would almost venture to guess, if not for Lake Jed Johnson, there may not even have been a Travel Oddities. If you remember, when we first went there, we stopped and got some roadie snacks, talked to the clerk at the store and said, it was when we were going to be paranormal guys. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So this literally, and we're not going to get into the creepy stuff, but you got to spend some time as a family at Lake Jed Johnson, didn't you?
Yes, we've been there multiple times.
Yes.
You and I have been there multiple times. We've been there with our families multiple times.
But legally, only a few times.
We did accidentally break curfew.
I don't know if lugging, we didn't accidentally take a tent and sleeping bags and whatever that stuff, sterno and...
I don't know what the statute of limitations is on camping in a non-camping area.
Right.
But
7 years.
Whatever it is, it's past that time.
We have, yeah. We can talk about it now.
I'm going to go with we've got diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, something. Hey, we work for the tourism department. We're in. That's the equivalent of the VIP, laminate, right?
So there are a lot of places to hike at the Wichita Mountains, but one of my favorite, especially for short hikes, is the Jed Johnson Tower Trail.
Now, when we did it, I asked you when we were prepping for the show, have they made any adjustments? Are there handrails? No, this thing is a craggly. It really isn't for the faint of heart, and we did it at dusk. So
yes, and again, it's not very big. It's a little over a mile and a half, somewhere in between. And really, to hike to the tower from the parking lot and back is an hour.
Unless you're running from the game warden, and then you have no choice than to jump off the rock wall into Lake Jed Johnson.
I don't know why we keep going back to this.
I can't help it.
Okay. It is a gradual elevation change, though. I think it's about 75-foot increase from the parking lot to the tower, to the base of the tower. So it's really good for all ages, and it's short enough that you don't need to take a lot of gear with you. You just take a bottle of water and walk up the hill.
Well, and the thing that I like about it, of course there's Mount Scott. You've got great views all around Mount Scott. It's high enough you can see for miles and miles and miles. But the Jed Johnson, that area where the tower is, it really does have some great views, especially
it's gorgeous
when the sun's setting on the other side and kind of you're seeing the rock formations in literally a different light than you would have. It's really gorgeous out there.
It really is. And one of the reasons that we ended up being there after dark at that one point in time was just because we wanted to be there at that particular point in time for an unnamed reason at this point.
Right. For a reason that shall not be named yet. We can't even talk. We're not going to talk about it.
There's some spooky legends around Jed Johnson Tower, and we're not going to talk about those today. We will be doing a show specifically about those legends at a future date.
But you mentioned at the certain times of day, obviously, landscape takes on a whole different shape, a whole different shade. I will say this, if you plan on going up before dark, you better take a flashlight if you plan on coming down after dark, because it can be treacherous.
Technically, you're not supposed to be there.
You're right. You're not supposed to be there after dark. I was testing you and the listeners.
One of the things that you probably do want to bring with you, if you're going to be out and about, is bug spray. I think right now it seems like the ticks and mosquitoes are a little aggressive.
Right.
So I would definitely bring the bug spray with you. your dogs are welcome as long as they're on a leash or in a stroller if you're one of those weirdos.
A stroller with some 4-wheel drive tires.
Yeah,
it can be a little treacherous. I mean, once you get to the top, once you hit the summit, it's relatively flat.
It is, and it is a little bit of a strenuous hike. Mm-hmm. But Amber did it with a sprained ankle. So
wow, yeah, give it up. Yeah, give it up to her.
I mean, her brothers were in town. They wanted to go, so she went and powered through it. So
it only griped about it once when I asked how the hike went. So we talked about the view. Describe, what are we seeing when we get? Besides from the obvious, paint that picture for me, Harley. What are we looking for? What are we looking at?
The trail follows along the lake, and it's a small lake, up to the Jed Johnson Tower, which looks like it's straight out of like a castle.
Straight out of a castle or a chapter out of a Stephen King book. I know. I'm not trying to tease. It. It does have that. There's a different vibe, and it's not just there. It's the wildlife refuge as a whole. There's just a different. There's something. It's a great time to go right now.
Right. So again, at the top, you can look out over the lake and the park in general. And if you go, early in the morning or late in the evening, you're going to see those sunsets, sunrises. But they're gorgeous mountains, the wildlife, the scenery. I can't paint a picture of this verbally that would do it any justice at all.
So the thing that I wish you could do when you got there is the observation tower.
I agree, and I think a lot of people want to see that back. Mm-hmm. But again, there's some history there. We'll talk about it again at a later point in time. But at one point in time, you could walk up to the top of the tower. It's a 60-foot high structure, so you definitely got some better views. Mm-hmm. The tower itself was built in 1941 by the Civilian Conservation Corps.
What's funny about that, if you hadn't told me that it was built in 1941, I would have told you it was built within the last decade, because it looks... What they used is the stone from the area. There's a lot of that, and especially if you go into Medicine Park, you see a lot of structures and homes that are still standing, and the remnants of homes that aren't. What is still standing is the rock from
the surrounding area,
the surrounding quarries. So the fact that it's been there since 1941, it's really a testament to the craftsmanship in the architecture, and we need to build more things with stone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, 1941. It used to be a fire tower.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was its purpose. But dude, you got to think the views from the top of that are gonna be just stunning, because you've got that peak behind it. But I honestly think the top of that tower sees over that peak.
Yeah, I think so too. Because you like you said, once you get to the central peak, which is about a mile and a half long.
It's a mile and a half to the tower.
To the tower?
I think it's about almost 2 miles to the top of the central peak.
You don't really realize, when you're walking up, it seems like you're going a ways, but when you get up there, you're way up there. Because I remember when we were up there, and it's something about that area, you could hear cars driving up Mount Scott, and it's so far away, but you really are you're up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as, obviously it's a state park. There are some rules and regulations. You can't be there. It's a dusk till dawn situation unless... Every day. I don't know. There's people that hang out a lot later. Who's going to come get you? That's the thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying you should. But I'm sorry. Are you, as a game warden or whatever, are you going to climb that to tell somebody to hit
I really don't think we should be encouraging people to...
I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just curious. I'm curious how state parks manage to not... How do you police that?
I think they probably just come and lock the gate, and if you're in there, you're kind of SOL.
Is there a gate?
I think so.
I've never seen a gate.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Is it one of those gates that just... It's a freestanding gate, kind of like the toll booth and Blazing Saddles, where you could just drive around
it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway... I know we go on and on about the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge, but it's one of the, I'm telling you, it's one of the top places in the country. People come from all over. to primitive camp out there. It's a hiking destination for amateurs, for pros, rock climbing. If you're into that, it has every aspect of that.
It does. And this is one of those, this isn't a hike that's going to take you all day. This is literally an hour. This is something to do with the kids. Mm-hmm. But it really kind of gives you a quick snapshot of what's possible in hiking in the Wichita Mountains area.
And not only that, what's possible, but the vision that they had 70, 80, 100 years ago to put this all together for a place to conserve nature and conserve, you know what I mean? I know that's the general purpose of wildlife associations and national parks, but we have that right here. There's a lot of states that aren't lucky enough to have something like this, and it's right there. Mm-hmm. So if you get a chance, you definitely want to check it out, and then of course swing through Mears and have a Mears burger, of course.
Absolutely. We'll put links in the show notes, so if you want to go check it out, you'll have all the pertinent information.
And coming up, we're going to talk about Road Trip Oklahoma. They're making some moves, and we're going to talk about it next. So I don't know if you've been keeping up with politics, but Biden announced some more tax incentives for people with kids. It's really starting to pay. I feel like I won the lottery with all these new tax incentives for having kids. I'm like, will we get the other one? Can we count the new one before the new one's here? Are they going to audit me? Are they going to crawl through my kid's window and do a head count? Can I make up a social security number for the kid yet?
I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I think that is definitely something that you want to seek professional assistance with. And I think the people that we typically refer to in these situations is Holiday Tax Group.
Well, I think a lot of people are thinking it's a holiday because of all the tax write-offs that we're getting.
It's a distinct possibility, but Holiday Tax Group is family and locally owned and operated since 2010. You get a 20% discount if you are military personnel or a teacher.
Yes, it's super simple. And furthermore, if you just have a few questions, you get a free consultation. Give them a call. What's it?
405-730-3100.
Or you can find them on the web at holidaytaxgroup.com. That's holiday with 2 L's.
So some of our compatriots, some of our partners in crime,
our brethren and sisterhood of
our brothers in tourism, Retrospect Films out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, has a series that you might have seen if you're interested in tourism in Oklahoma. It's called Road Trip OK. They won a national YouTube award, though. It was in the underdog category, the underdog award. I'm super pumped that an exhibition of Oklahoma travel destinations.
Yeah. Has reached, I think the country is no joke. I think the more social media there is, the more opportunities to share and reshare and talk about. Oklahoma is becoming less of a fictional location where people still think that we don't have running water, and we're actually a destination. People are moving here in droves. The statistics are real.
People are buying houses sight unseen in Oklahoma.
You know how you go on Amazon and you're like, I'll buy that. That's what they're doing with houses here. They're just putting their credit card number in, and boom. So yeah.
Congrats to the team over at Retrospect Films in Broken Arrow.
Yeah, they're doing the gods of tourism's work for sure.
They are indeed. And speaking of doing the work, we do have a little bit of feedback.
Really?
Yes.
I love it.
Got an email from Susan B.
Oh, really?
Yes. She was commenting on our White Dog Hill show. She said she ate there for her parents' 60th day wedding anniversary. Mm-hmm. The food was excellent. She said she just found us.
Wait, back up.
Yes.
We're keeping it in, but they were only married 60 days and they celebrated that?
Did I say 60 days?
Yeah, leave it. You're leaving it in.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Why
leave
would I
it
do
in
that?
Because it makes you look human.
I'm not.
But that's awesome.
She said she just found us and she's looking forward to listening to more. Show idea she had.
Yeah.
The old Greer Country Museum at Mangum.
Really?
I know nothing about it.
You know about rattlesnakes, though. So that's where the Rattlesnake Festival is.
One of them.
One of them. Well, yeah, there's one in Apache, but there's one in Mangum, too. There's a lot of rattlesnakes in them there hills.
There are a lot of rattlesnakes in Oklahoma. I think they should be a food crop.
They should, or a food truck. The Rattlesnake Shack. The Rattlesnake Shake Shack, where you could get fried rattlesnake in a shake? I don't know. I don't know. This is why I do this. This is why I don't make any money doing anything else. This is why people that podcast have a real job too. But anyway,
if you're like Susan B, and you have some ideas for our show, let us know.
Please let us know. We're everywhere you are. Literally, we are in your pocket right now. You just pulled out your phone. We're in the palm of your hand.
You're a weirdo.
I am weird. You remember Palm Pilots? Do you still have those?
No, I don't think so. I think that was a product in the 90s.
Is that a blue? I was going to say a blueberry. I am in trouble. I don't know technology. I'm to the point now where I stare down my nose through my glasses to like download an app.
Do we need to get you a jitterbug?
I think so. It would definitely cut down on my social media failures and weaknesses.
Well, don't be a social media failure like Brett. Go find us on Facebook or on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, smash it. Isn't that what they say? Smash the...
Yes, because our show is bussin'.
Is it?
I don't know. Well, no, that's only if you talk about food. You say bussin'. But big bet, y'all. That's another thing you say. Big bet. This is going to be your best bet. We are the OnlyinOKShow. New shows every week. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley. And we're out of here.
Peace.
Your dogs are well.
It's like my.
I like to do that. I like to eat bananas with my feet.
How do you peel a banana? How do you peel a banana?
Are we recording?
Yeah. How do you peel a banana?
From the bottom.
Good job. I found that out from someone.
My son.
It's the easiest way to peel a banana because that's how monkeys do it. They peel it from the bottom. Someone taught me that a few years ago, and I've never peeled a banana the old way again. I just don't. You just pop it. Done. Because even a non-ripened, like a completely ripened banana is still easier. Because sometimes they're you can almost break the banana if you try it from the top. But if you do it from the bottom, it's like easy peasy.
Dude, I just want to lay down and take a nap.
Now?
That pizza.
Oh, yeah. It comes out of left field. And maybe it's because we smelt it all the way home. Maybe that's part of it.
I don't know. It's delicious.
Next time we do that, remind me to grab. I have a hot bag that when I delivered food, I just now thought about it. If we ever do that again, it's just big enough for those boxes.
I'm sorry, but DeCintio's pizza would have been.
Well, I know.
DeCintio's pizza is good ice cold.
I was this close. When you grabbed a garlic knot, I was feeling like a fat kid when I thought subconsciously maybe I'll grab a slice for the road. And then you grabbed a garlic knot, and I'm like, you know what? If I go for you went for the low hanging fruit because the box was on top of the pizza. I was this close to snagging a slice straight out of the box.
So the drive,
right out of the tap. Yeah. So they're so nice though. Those guys are so freaking nice.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Okay, you ready to fire this thing off? Can you imagine trying to groom a cat? No, because you hate cats.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Deep dish, I think it has its place. I think when in Chicago, I just
Why would you go to Chicago?
True. What's wrong with Chicago? It's not Oklahoma, right?
No, it's a damn cesspool.
It's a cesspool, and they call it Chirac.
Seriously.
You know, when you think, oh, surely because you wonder if they inflate numbers in places that are more violent. No, legitimately, like in every poll, left, right, moderate, Chicago's a dangerous, like, you're almost guaranteed Labor Day weekend, 10 people are going to get shot. Memorial weekend, 10 people get shot.
Mm-hmm.
5 of them die. Like, yeah. I would like to go to the Wiener Circle and be raided while I get a hot dog.
Dude, I love the idea of Chicago. Like the history of Chicago.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the history of Chicago. It's not all. It's organized. All of it.
Yeah.
Like Chicago government's dirty. It wasn't not too long ago. They were still talking about how the politics in Chicago is just almost as twisted as it's ever been.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Chicago deep dish. I think you go and you have it once. It's not something I could.
I've had a Chicago deep dish before, and I'm not a fan.
I had Lou Malnati's, which is supposedly the best pizza. The only thing I can say is they can ship it to you in dry ice, frozen, and you heat it. But I think anything good is worth waiting for, and there's just certain things that aren't very good to go. But I don't know.
I'm gonna say DeCintios is not on that list.
If I can't hold a slice of pizza in my hand and walk around and eat it, I can't eat it. I need something portable. Deep dish is not portable.
No, it's not.
Not at all. All right. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Break out the water bottles and the hiking boots. We're headed to the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge again. Okay, cool. What do you want me to do different? There was a little bit of a pause in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, you said, welcome to the show.
Yeah. I was looking for a thought. 3, 2, 1. And welcome to the show. Look at you, man. Oh, yeah, now I can't not. I'm waiting for you to go, man, that pizza sure smelled good on the way in, didn't it? Man, I was trying to find the pepperoni, and man, I just couldn't. I just called to say I've got to call in order.
I just called for takeout.
If you care. Dude, I'm about to just call and say I love you because their freaking pizza's freaking awesome. And I mean it from the bottom of my
stomach.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be up all night. We did pick one of the heaviest things you can eat after 7, as far as like as far as your digestive system goes.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a long night for the gut. 3, 2, 1.